Hi, I'm Judy Taylor from Little House Rugs. I just finished my new book, T-Shirt Treasures, that shows you everything you need to know to hook beautiful, durable, machine washable, hand-hooked rugs that will last for generations, made from t-shirts, just like these. So now I'm going to show you how it's done. You don't need a frame when you're hooking with t-shirts. All you do is just tuck the backing around your legs and your lap becomes your frame. So it doesn't need to be taut, but it does need to be snug enough that the fabric isn't going to flop around while you're hooking. Now I hold my hook in my right hand, because I'm right-handed, and the t-shirt goes in my left hand underneath. So I just want to actually show you how it's done. I'm not going to break it down into steps just yet. I just want you to see what it looks like to hook in your lap. And what I've done in my book is I've broken it down into steps so that all you have to do is one little thing at a time. And eventually it all becomes very fluid and natural. But you've got to give yourself a little bit of time just to sort of learn the process. So we're going to slow it way down in a minute, but first I just wanted you to see what it looks like when I'm just grooving and enjoying myself and just hooking a rug. So the challenge is, when you're learning to hook a rug, it's your left hand that's doing most of the work, only you don't get to see your left hand while you're working. So it's all done by feel. So when you break down the steps, and we're going to get to that in a minute, little by little, your hands are going to figure it out, and you're going to find out that you're going to go much faster. So when you're done with a section, let's say we're going to stop right there. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut that off from the top, and then I'm just going to pull the rest of it out. So always, whenever you start or finish a section, you always leave the tails up at the top. Just, there's my beginning tail. But so look back here at these little blue ones. Those are done because now they're surrounded. So I can cut these ones off. So all the tails come up to the top and they're held in place by the pressure of the loops around them. But these two tails right here aren't quite done because they're not surrounded. So now I have my rug on the frame, so I can break the process down into steps. When you see me pulling up on a loop, I'm actually thinking about the back of the rug, pulling the strip up tight against the back, so I'm not leaving anything hanging that might catch on something later. Let me show you what's happening in the back. I slide down the strip and fold it over the hook, pulling down on it until the hook is through to the top. Then feel the slack pull tight against the back. One more time. Push in the hook, slide away, lift it up and pinch down on it so it stays on the hook. Then feel the extra pull up. When it's tight against the back, I pull down on the strip until the loop is the height I want. The reason I give myself that extra slack is so I have something to pull up on without pulling out the previous loop. So if you find you're pulling out the previous loop, try to remind yourself to slide down the strip before you connect it to the hook. Never put latex on the back of a hand-hooked rug. It doesn't keep the loops from pulling out, but it makes them impossible to repair, and you'll want to repair them someday. Okay, one more time very slowly. So I push in the hook, slide away a little bit, put it on the hook and pinch down on it. That's what keeps it on the hook. And then I feel that extra pull tight. Then I pull the loop down to the height that I want. Push in the hook, slide away a little bit, fold it over the hook and hang on to it until it's through to the top. Then just feel that extra pull tight against the back. If you've seen my YouTube video on hooking with yarn, you'll notice that hooking with t-shirts is almost exactly the same, but with a couple of exceptions. You can vacuum and hand wash a yarn hooked rug, but you can't wash them in the washing machine. You can wash t-shirt rugs in the washing machine, which is great, and all that is covered in my book. The other way that hooking with t-shirts is a little bit different from hooking with yarn is that some t-shirt strips are more textured. So when I pull down on them from the back, they can drag themselves down and leave a little loop in the back. We don't want that. So to prevent that from happening, I will just leave my hook in the loop while I'm pulling it down with my left hand. So at that point, I'm not pulling up on the hook, but while it's in there, I just leave it and give a little bit of resistance, and that makes it so I don't leave a loop in the back. You may have noticed how when I pull my hook up, I do a little twist. That's just something I do to get the hook past the backing. It just becomes part of the rhythm of the hooking. Let's talk about how high to place your loops. Now mine are pretty short, about 1/8 of an inch. Now that's important because short, densely packed loops will wear the best. See, this one's a little too high. It sort of flops over. That's not good. So here's a side view. Notice how this loop is round. It spreads out. That's what you want. That's part of what anchors the loop in place. This next one is too high. It wants to lean over. Loops this high are much easier to snag on something, and you can't really pack them in as snugly as you need to. Not to sound like Goldilocks here, but this one's just a little too short. It doesn't spread out. It looks like it could easily pop through to the back. Now look again at the one to the right. You want your loop to be round but sturdy, like it wants to stay where you leave it. So you want your loops close enough together that you can't see the backing from the front, but not so close together that the rug won't lay flat. If you look at the back, you should be able to see gaps between the loops. They do need room to spread out. You need to hook for a while before you get this, but if you notice your rug is puckering or curling on the edges, you're probably overpacking your loops. In the book, you'll find everything you need to know to hook with t-shirts, including how to cut up your t-shirts, how to transfer your design to the backing, and how to hem, clean, and care for your hand-hooked rugs. You'll also find instructions to make your own frame. Now this one gets the rug off your lap so you can shift the way you're sitting. It's also easier on your neck because you don't have to look down at your lap for long periods of time. Plus, you'll find 7 easy projects to practice your skills. You can use these templates to make anything from a pillow to a room-sized rug if you want. You'll also get to see rugs from all over the world hooked with t-shirts. At my website, you'll find kits, patterns, books, and all the supplies you'll need. Thanks for visiting.